Hello, bear with me 1 second. Somebody's just come up on my screen here. Let's get rid of that. Tech issues. Right. For any of you who might wonder, this is a pentalpha. And it was actually found in one of the churches of the Knights Templar. It was in the window. Yeah. Anyway, little diversion there. Okay, so today's reading. And I'll show you the cards in a minute because already it's good news. So what I wanted to check in with, because today is the first quarter of these lunar energies that have been moving through all kinds of stuff. Yeah. So I just wanted to do a check-in of, are you on the right track? Are you on track? You haven't drifted off course anywhere. And yeah, I don't want to give any spoilers, but you're good. So I've already pulled some Lenormand cards to get a feel for where this reading is going. So let's have a look. Okay. So this is the Gilded Reverie deck. Something in my eye. And we have the bridge. So this is the extended version. So we have extra cards. One of them is the bridge. So we have the bridge. We have the child, the snake, the rider, which for me is because the bridge is a transition card. So this is, right down the middle. This is what was happening before, and this is what is happening now, or like into the up. Bleh, get my words out. The waxing gibbous, yeah. After today, the waxing gibbous energy, yeah. For whatever magic, whatever lunar magic you have done, okay. From the dark moon or the new moon, depending which energy you work with. So let's get into it. The bridge. So this is definitely confirming that this is a transition energy. So this is energy. So this is moving from A to B. So wherever you were on the dark or the new moon, moving towards the full moon, which is, let me just double check for you. Full moon is on that'll be October the 7th, which is a couple of weeks away, something like that. Not next week, but the week after. So, yeah, we've got confirmation of this transition energy. So that to me is, yeah, you're on track. You're good. Yeah. So let's just see from these first three cards, Child, Snake, Rider, what was happening at the beginning of this transition. Yeah. So what this is telling me is very quickly it became apparent that there were issues with this new path. Yeah. So you've made, so when you set an intention or you create ritual to experience something else in your reality, yeah, you're making a choice. It's a choice point. Yeah. It's a pivot. So very quickly you became aware of issues with this new path. Yeah. So coming back to the transition energy, the bridge. So I'm assuming that you would have tweaked that a little bit to get back on track. Because what this is telling us, the stork, the moon, the lilies, is you're on track. You're back on track. Okay. So whatever it is that you tweaked, and I will get clarification on that. So the stork, the moon, the lilies, we've got the moon in here. Excellent sign that you're on track. Yeah. So this moon phase, so this would be the waxing gibbous, yeah, will bring in big changes, yeah. But this is over the extended period. Certainly the waxing gibbous to the full moon, but it might even extend beyond that. This might take up more than one waxing moon phase, if that makes sense. Yeah. So let's just get some clarification on this is gone. So do we need to know anything about that? Let me just ask that as a yes or no. Projective energy. Okay, so what that tells me is there was an issue with the actions you were taking in regard to this transition. Yeah, when you set your intention. So there was some of your actions weren't aligned with the intention or the spell or the ritual that you used to set your intention, to set your path. Does that make sense? So don't think we need to know anything more about that. Let's just double check. Is there anything else that we need to know about this tweak of actions in relation to this transitional journey? Heart. Let me just double check, because I think the heart is a neutral card. Heart is, no, it's positive. So the heart is a positive card. So that's a yes. So let's grab. I'll pick them up. El Kipperinos, to see what else we need to know about that, because I suppose sometimes it's quite handy to know. You might not have even started this transitional work yet, so in that case it would be good to know if there's anything that we need to know about this transitional journey. Whoa, there we go. Have. Ooh. So on this transitional journey, the new path, your new path, you may have felt like something had been lost, something had been taken away from you. That could have been, I would say that's energetic, because we're talking obviously about the spiritual path. Excuse me, my nose is a bit wonky today. So let's just get a little clarification on that with the work your light. So if you do feel like maybe your energy is not quite as you would like it to be on this bit of your journey, then let's see. Whoa, no, that's a spill, but we have got one that's up the right way, awakening. Okay. Now, so we've got so this kind of tells me what this is about. Energetic upgrades, a new way of being, integration. So during that kind of time of, these upgrades, of changing or making different choices to change the trajectory of your path, this can be challenging. And what's interesting here is we've got a new moon. So around the new moon, when you set your intention or you did your spell or whatever it was that you did, this magical lunar work that you did, just go back and double check your wording. Because if you've done a spell or set an intention or something, just double check your wording. And if you need to put in any extra kind of bits for to protect your energy whilst you are in this transitional phase, and do that. That's what I would say there. Okay, so I think we've got the clarification there for that. That's good. Okay, so in this transitional phase, I really want to use, I've got a new Lenormand deck. It actually came just before I started this reading. So let's use them, yeah, because they're very cute. So this middle kind of, this pivotal point here between when you set this intention or you did your magical workings to what is kind of coming through this waxing gibbous energy, yeah. Let's see. Let's find out about this pivotal point right there, yeah. Give them a good shuffle because I haven't shuffled them yet. But they're very cute. I did look through them. They're lovely. So, okay. So what do we need to know about this pivotal point? Oh, travel. Which mirrors the energy of the bridge. So it's been quite a journey. It's been quite a journey, even though it's kind of short in time in terms of time. Yeah, it's actually been quite a transformative journey, and it's not finished yet. So to this pivotal point, up until this pivotal point, it's been quite intense, I would say, especially with the awakening card, the feeling like your energy has dropped. Okay, let's get another card from this lovely deck. Whoa, got 3 cards. Whoa, no, that's a spill. Thank you. It's getting a bit excited, this deck. Right. So we have coffin. We have book and letter. Wow. So, no, that's right then. So, this journey has definitely been a revealing of the kind of the endings. So this bit here, although it's an awakening, yeah, when that process happens, things fall away, which is represented by the coffin. So the book, this is your learning process, your journeying, your learning process, yeah. And you may have even been receiving messages during this learning process of releasing the things that don't align with your new awakened energy. Yeah. So this, I would suggest, is this would be messages from spirit, the universe, your higher self, whatever you want to call that. Yeah. See how lovely these cards are. Aren't they lovely? Okay. So that's in the middle bit there. Let's put those there. So let's have a look. Let's have a look at the stork, the moon, and the lilies as the kind of the bit that is to come during this waxing gibbous moon phase. So let's see if we can get, first of all, a question, yes or no. So you can use Lenormand for yes or no. And you use the positive and negative cards to get a yes or no answer. Yeah. So is this transformative process going to take us up to the next full moon? Like, is it going to finish at the next full moon? Yes or no? Child and house. I don't think either of those. I think they're both neutral cards. Let me just double check. Yeah, neutral. So that could be a yes or it could be a no. That's really helpful, isn't it? But what you could say is it's bringing in a new stability. So obviously, the way I use yes and no, so if I don't get a yes or a no, I'll look at the card. So like I did up here with the man when I asked a yes or no, it was very clearly talking about actions that you've taken. Yeah. So if you don't get a yes or no, read the cards that you get. That's how I do it. So although this transformational process may not end at the next full moon, it's definitely bringing a new sense of stability. Yeah, definitely. Okay, so can we get, let's go with Tower of the Abyss, because I do like this deck. Let's get some guidance on on the big changes, because it's definitely indicating big changes over this, certainly over this next, pardon me, waxing gibbous moon phase. So let's ask about these big changes. So we have Three of Cups. Whoa. We have the Four of Wands. Oh my God. Celebration, celebration. So it's emotional. It's your will, your fire. So your will has definitely brought this about. And your the transformation in your emotions has definitely brought about. Both cards being cards of celebration. So there is going to be, in the next full moon, there's going to be a celebration. Queen of Cups. Wow. There we go. That's quite amazing. So there is definitely a security. So this sense of security, this new sense of security, indicated here with the child in the house, is definitely around your emotional stability, your ability to, I suppose, take a step back when those things come up, so you can allow them to move through you in that way that indicates emotional intelligence. So, and there will be big celebrations, because on an emotional level and on a level which this whole journey indicates strength of will, yeah, and the stability of that process, I would say, this alchemical process, which is indicated also by Wands energy, which is fire. There's going to be a massive celebration. I love it. I love it. Okay, so that's not good. That's not good to get too excited just yet, because I want to just dive into is there anything on the shadow that we need to know about on this next nose is really itchy today. I don't know what that means. What does itchy nose mean, apart from you've got an itchy nose? I have heard it told that that's when you know spirit's about, because your nose gets really itchy. I don't know why. So yeah, let's see if there's anything. So during this waxing gibbous energy, is there anything that we need to know, like when it comes to the kind of shadowy aspects that we might encounter? Yeah, obviously we've got it. Yeah, we got it. Blessings. Oh, what's that one? Depth. So your blessings definitely come via the depth of the shadow that you've been working with. Wow, that's really cool. I love that. So, last words. Last words. Last words. Last words from the cards. Whoa, there we go. Expectation. So when it's talking about expectation, that to me is like a knowing. It's the knowing that the work that you're doing is well, it's paying off right here. Yeah. 3 of Cups, 4 of Wands, Queen of Cups. It's paying off. It's a knowing. Yeah. It's a knowing. Oh, look at that. Look at that room. Isn't that beautiful? So we got expectation, family room. So this is a coziness that is in a space. So it's words. So this is a shared space with friends or family or whoever's in your life that you feel cozy with. Does that make sense? Yeah. That you feel safe with, you could say. Which comes back down to this card here, the house. There's definitely some kind of justice, which absolutely comes from this blessings, coming from the depth of shadow that you've been working with, and these cards of celebration and balance, like emotional balance. So there's a justice that's happened through this work that you're doing. And what's really interesting about that is this particular energy keeps coming up in readings that I'm doing and when I'm watching other people's readings. This idea of, you know, this journey that you've been on, it's been tough. Yeah. And let's face it, it is tough because we don't have a handbook. We're kind of flying by the seat of our pants. Do you know what I mean? So this idea that you're getting to the point now where all your hard work has not been for nothing. Yeah. It's all coming out. Yeah. Your celebrations, your achievements are being recognized. Yeah. Your blessings are directly in proportion to the depth of the shadow you have been working with. And it's time. And I would say, because I asked the question about the full moon, where was that? This new sense of stability at the next full moon. Yeah. Definitely encompasses this. So it might not be that the journey's ended, but there'll be significant changes. Significant changes. And a feeling like justice there's been a balance of the scales. Okay, I'm going to take one more from the Lyran deck to end on, because this deck is lovely. And if you have an affinity with lions for any reason, you'll understand what I mean. They're very awkward to shuffle though, because they're quite large cards. So I'm just going to pull that one there. Oh, there we go. Wow, this is very cool. Healer found. You found your healing. You found your balance, because essentially healing is equilibrium, is balance. Yeah. So it says regeneration, health, empowerment, vitality. So I would suggest this is just one aspect of the part of the journey that will complete on this next full moon. So, wow. I really hope you've enjoyed this. Yeah, you know what to do if you have. And thank you for being here. And cheerio, and I'll see you next time.